வல்ல தெய்வமது எங்கும் உள்ளது நீக்கமர எல்லாம் வல்ல தெய்வமது எங்கும் உள்ளது நீக்கமர சொல்லால் மட்டும் நம்பாதே சுயமாய் சிந்தித்தே தெளிவாய் சொல்லால் மட்டும் நம்பாதே சுயமாய் சிந்தித்தே தெளிவாய் வல்லாய் உடலில் இயக்கமவன் வாழ்வில் உயிர் அறிவுமவன் வல்லாய் உடலில் இயக்கமவன் வாழ்வில் உயிர் அறிவுமவன் கல்லார் கற்றார் செயல் விளைவார் காணோ இன்ப துன்பமவன் கல்லார் கற்றார் செயல் விளைவார் காணோ இன்ப துன்பமவன் அவனின் இயக்கம் அணுவாற்றல் அணுவின் கூட்டு பக்குவம் நீ அவனின் இயக்கம் அணுவாற்றல் அணுவின் கூட்டு பக்குவம் நீ அவனில் தான் நீ உன்னில் அவன் அவன் யானே யார் பிரிவேது அவனில் தான் நீ உன்னில் அவன் அவன் யானே யார் பிரிவேது அவனை மறந்தால் நீ சிறியோன் அவனை அறிந்தால் நீ பெரியோன் அவனை மறந்தால் நீ சிறியோன் அவனை அறிந்தால் நீ பெரியோன் அவன் நீயொன்றாய் அறிந்த இடம் அறிவு முழுமை அது முக்தி அவன் நீயொன்றாய் அறிந்த இடம் அறிவு முழுமை அது முக்தி அறிவு முழுமை அது முக்தி ஆதியெனும் பரம்பொருள் மே எழுச்சி பெற்று அணுவர உயிராகி அடுக்கள் கூடி ஆதியெனும் பரம்பொருள் மே எழுச்சி பெற்று அணுவர உயிராகி அடுக்கள் கூடி மூதி இணைந்து இயங்குகின்ற நிலைமை கேட்ப மூலகங்கள் பலவாகி அவை இணைந்து மூதி இணைந்து இயங்குகின்ற நிலைமை கேட்ப மூலகங்கள் பலவாகி அவை இணைந்து வேதித்த அண்ட கோடிகளாய் மற்றும் பிறப்பு இறப்பிடையே உணதல் இயக்கமாகி வேதித்த அண்ட கோடிகளாய் மற்றும் பிறப்பு இறப்பு உள்ளது எங்கும் உள்ளது நீக்கமர சொல்லால் மட்டும் நம்பாதே சுயமாய் சிந்தித்தே தெளிவாய் சொல்லால் மட்டும் நம்பாதே சுயமாய் சிந்தித்தே தெளிவாய் வல்லாய் உடலில் இயக்கமவன் வாழ்வில் உயிர் அறிவுமவன் வல்லாய் உடலில் இயக்கமவன் வாழ்வில் உயிர் அறிவுமவன் கல்லார் கற்றார் செயல் விளைவார் காணோ இன்ப துன்பமவன் கல்லார் கற்றார் செயல் விளைவார் காணோ இன்ப துன்பமவன் அணுவாற்றல் அணுவின் கூட்டு பக்குவம் நீ அவனின் இயக்கம் அணுவாற்றல் அணுவின் கூட்டு பக்குவம் நீ அவனில் தான் நீ உன்னில் அவன் அவன் யானே யார் பிரிவேது அவனில் தான் நீ உன்னில் அவன் அவன் யானே யார் பிரிவேது அவனை மறந்தால் நீ சிறியோன் அவனை அறிந்தால் நீ பெரியோன் அவனை மறந்தால் நீ சிறியோன் அவனை அறிந்தால் நீ பெரியோன் அவன் நீயொன்றாய் அறிந்த இடம் அறிவு முழுமை அது முக்தி அவன் நீயொன்றாய் அறிந்த இடம் அறிவு முழுமை அது முக்தி அறிவு முழுமை அது முக்தி.
ॐ योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि.
Hello all and good morning everyone. I am Deepika from Ayurveda College Coimbatore on behalf of I Ask Ayush, inviting you all for this Ziksha Therapeutic Yoga program. Yoga Chitta Vriddhi Nirodha. Yoga is to still the patterning of consciousness. Yoga is an ancient practice which unites our body and mind. Yoga is not just about exercise, it is a way to discover the sense of oneness with yourself, world, and nature. Practicing yoga, especially during this pandemic, is very important. Now, I invite Dr. N. Arun Kumar, founder director of I Ask Ayush, to give intro about this program. Please, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepika. Good morning, all. Today we start with I Ask Ayush Siksha Therapeutic Program. This is a series of 12 learning sessions starting from today till October 3rd. It has been designed by our presenters in such a way to help our clinical practice. So we call it as therapeutic yoga. Now I would like to welcome all our participants and delegates for being with us and all our presenters. First, I start welcoming Dr. Kasinath, who will be sharing his knowledge on yogic practice starting from today and will be continuing his sessions all Tuesdays. Dr. Kasinath at present is a lead trainer at 1000-petaled Lotus Yoga Center at Dubai. I welcome Dr. Kasinath on behalf of I Ask Ayush. So after Tuesdays, every Thursday and Saturdays, we will have sessions from Dr. Madan Kumar and Dr. Kalpana Devi, both postgraduates from yoga, graduated from Government Naturopathy and Yoga Medical College, Chennai. Dr. Madan Kumar and Dr. Kalpana Devi are now working in the capacity of principal and HOD in the Department of Yoga, Sona College of Institutions, Salem. Next, we do have our own Dr. Harshavardhen, who has completed his BIMS, MA Yoga, MSc Yoga, and now pursuing a PhD in Yogic Sciences. He is an ardent devotee of Vedatri Maharishi and is an expert in Sky Yoga for the past 20 years. Dr. Harshavardhen will be handling the basic pranayama techniques and breathing techniques on all sessions starting from 6 o'clock to 6:30 in morning. So I do welcome Dr. Harshavardhen to be a part of us. Thank you. Here, I do have a special mention to the team of young budding doctors from Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, who all have been the supporting pillars of all our learning programs, starting from our Sanskrit classes to the ongoing Dravya Guna classes. Now they are also a part of our Ziksha therapeutic yoga classes. I really thank these young budding energetic students for being with us and supporting us. Once again, I welcome all our participants, presenters, and organizers. We do have a special announcement from I Ask Ayush today. It's a great opportunity for us, and Dr. Mahadevan, who needs no introduction, has agreed to be a part of I Ask Ayush, and he will be presenting a series of clinical notes titled Dr. Mahadevan's Clinical Insights every month starting from this month. The dates and topic will be finalized soon, and we will be sharing with you all. So once again, thank you and welcoming you. Happy learning. Thank you. Doctor, Deepika, can you unmute yourself?
Thank you so much, sir. Now, we are going to see about Mind Awakening Technique by Dr. Harshavardhen. Before entering into this session, instructions to be followed. Filling your full name along with register number to be displayed is mandatory. For uninterrupted class session, use laptop with high-speed internet connection. Please make sure your microphone is on mute to have a disturbance-free session. In case of any disruption, please check your internet connection firstly, and if the problem is within our internet connection, kindly raise the issue in chat box. Any question regarding the session can be raised in the link provided in chat box, which will be addressed at the end of this session. Participants are not requested to share Zoom ID and password. If so, strictly they are restricted for further classes. Kindly, everyone switch on your video to guide you correctly throughout this session. Now, I happily and eagerly invite Dr. Harshavardhen, who completed BAMS. He is an Ayurvedic physician. He is running Vedavi Ayurveda Siddha Marutva Nilayam for past 20 years. He completed MA Yoga, MSc Yoga, MSc Psychology, cleared NET in Yoga, doing PhD in Yoga Bharatiyar University, Aliyar Vision for Wisdom. He is practicing APT for past 23 years. He is a great disciple of Vedatri Maharshi. He learned different techniques in yoga from different gurus. He has been involved in teaching yogas to various international communities, Indian cities and villages. And happy to have him here. Please, sir.
Dr. Harshavardhen, you have to unmute your mic. Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome, Dr. Harshavardhen.
Good morning, sir. Welcome. Good morning, and I feel a great pleasure to see you all here and share and exchange our knowledge with each other. Be blessed by the divine. May the divinity bless all of us with the health, wealth, good name, longevity, and divinity. I am Dr. Harshavardhen. I'm going to teach you few techniques to alert our mind, which is very essential for the clinical practice of any doctors, especially we Ayurveda doctors needs know so much of the energy and as well as the alertness. So the existing mind cognitive functions, which we already have by our traditional and hereditary, is enough. But if you improve the alertness, then it will be helpful for the studying and understanding the patient and dealing them and to treat them with the knowledge what we have already. So it's very important to have such a kind of yogic classes and yogic practice, yogic satsang and Ayurvedic satsang is always an essential part of the ancient doctors on those days. So I welcome I welcome and I thank this IAS team, and I'm also happy to be the part of it and to share few knowledge from my side. And without taking much time, I will share you some ideas about the pranayama techniques which is there in the yoga. In today's session, we see some pranayama techniques for today. As far as this pranayama, what I am going to teach you today is it's very simple technique, and you don't want to bother about the mistakes and the side effects and all. These are the very simple technique. Even if you do it in a slight altered or some wrongs there, you need not to bother, because this is a very mild procedures which everyone can follow. And the second instruction for this pranayama is we have to sit in a comfortable place, sit in a yoga mat or any wooden stool which have the 5 inches of the height, what we in Tamil Nadu we call marapalai. So the wooden chair which has just 5 inches of height is enough to practice. And if you can't sit in the floor and you are having some knee pain, you can sit in the chair, but you should not slide on the right side or the left side or back, and you should come into the front of the chair and sit erect without slanting on the other sides of the chair. Please don't sit on the bed, because that doesn't give you a erect and stable posture to do this pranayama. Whatever the pranayama or the yoga or meditation, whatever we do, we should our vertebral column should be straight. This we should take this is very essential, and we should take effort to make our vertebral column straight. And we will we will know something about this pranayama, and then we follow to the procedure. So the pranayama is nothing but inhalation and exhalation of the air already coming and going inside. The prana means the vital energy which is present in the body, and yama means regulations. Usually we don't breathe up to the mark. Our lungs capacity, when you expand the lungs into a ground, it will extend up to a tennis court. Such much is our expanding capacity, but we don't use that fully. So what we should do is, so what we our yogis and rishis in India, what discovered is we can increase this vital capacity, vital energy, pranic flow, oxygen flow inside the bloodstream, and this will enhance and nourishes the brain. By that, our brain get enough nutrition and we get enough alertness, so that our life performance and life health, mental and physical health, will be at a optimum level. So we start with the Idagalai pranayama. The Idagalai pranayama is nothing but we have to inhale through our left nostril and we have to exhale through the left nostril. Don't give any force. Don't stress your body. Don't do it too fast. Do it with as comfortable as possible and enjoy the inhalation and exhalation what you do. So the hand should be having in our, we should place our hand in like this, and this particular mudra is called Vishnu mudra. The thumb should be extended outside, and the index finger should be placed on the root of the thumb finger, whereas the other three fingers should be extended. So this is called Vishnu mudra, and we should close the right nostril with the help of the thumb, and the left rest of the fingers should be let free. So when you want to close the right nostril, you should use the index finger and take out this thumb finger. So like this, we should keep on exchanging the nostrils, and we should practice this. So I will demo one pranayama, and you can also follow and repeat it. First, close the right nostril with the help of the thumb, and then fold your index finger. Let all the other three fingers be extended, and now start inhaling slowly with the left nostril, and slowly exhale through the left nostril itself. Slowly inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the left nostril. So in the beginning, we do it for 5 times. 5 rounds is enough. When you feel comfortable and you feel that you have learned the procedure correctly, and once you gain the confidence, then you can do it for 10 rounds. 10 rounds is enough. So 4th count, inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the left nostril. Usually when we do anything, we start with the right hand and we start with the right hand practice and all. But as far as the pranayama is concerned, whenever you start a pranic breathing technique, you should start with the left side. You should start with the left side, and then you should go to the right side. That is the procedure. So one more is left. So inhale through the left nostril comfortably, slowly. Don't produce any noise. You should not hear the noise of inhalation and exhalation. If you hear the noise, then you are forcing the breathing. Don't do that. That's the reason why we get side effects. So if you do it comfortably, and if you do it enjoying the breathing, you don't get any discomfort in the shoulder, neck, or the head. You don't get any headache. So this will also relieve all the headaches and all. As far as the Idagalai pranayama is concerned, it increases the coolness of the body. So because Ida is Chandra Nadi, it is cooling side of the body, if left Nadi. The Nadi Idakala usually starts with the right toe and ends in the left nostrils. So it energizes the thighs and it passes away to the left side of the body. It energizes the left side of the body by crisscrossing in the Muladhara chakra, and it comes towards the left sides of the head and nourishes the eyes and it comes away with it. So if you do this pranayama, the entire left nadi is nourished. So this breathing, it doesn't fill your lungs alone. It fills the entire body with the good prana. Okay, this is the Idagali pranayama. Next is the Pingala pranayama. So what you should do is, as I say, actually you have to fold for doing that. When you come to this position, you have to fold the first two index and middle finger should be folded, and you should close the ring finger for the closing the left nostril. Now inhale and remove the thumb. Remove the thumb from closing the right nostril. So inhale through the right nostril deeply but very slowly and comfortably. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the right nostril. And if you are sitting in your clinic and you feel fatigue, tired, lethargy, then you ask the patient to wait just to do one round of this kind of Idagala Pingala Surya Bedi pranayama and the pranayama what we are going to see now. It will immediately nourish us and you give refresh like as if you have drink a tea. So this is this Pingala pranayama. Inhale through the right nostril and exhale through. This is this energizes the Pingala. That is the nadi which starts from the left toe and comes up to the through the legs, and it stabilizes and rotates in the Muladhara chakra, and it passes through the right side of the body. It comes up in all the way from the Muladhara to the right lateral sides and right side, and it energizes the right side of the body. It gives energy to the eye, right eye, and it comes it passes through the right ears and it comes via the right nostril, and it nourishes the entire right side of the body above the Muladhara. So this nourishes the right side. So both the sides of the body is nourished. So this is called Surya Nadi. This is called Ha. So this increases the heat in the body. So if you do 5 times in the Idagala pranayama, you have to do 5 times Pingala. If you do 10 times, you have to do the 10 times the Pingala pranayama. Only then the body is being stabilized. It has been nourished. The next pranayama is Surya Bedi pranayama. The Surya Bedi pranayama is it increases the heat inside the body and it also cleanses the nostrils. The benefits are same like the above asanas. So here in the Surya Bedi pranayama, breathe through the right nostril, inhale through the right nostril and exhale out through the left nostril. Inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. And the inhalation and exhalation should be comfortable, and you don't want to bother about the counts, but you have to inhale and exhale in the equally in both the sides. So Surya Bedi pranayama is nothing but. So I will demo once. Inhale through the right nostril and close the right nostril and open the left. Exhale through the left nostril. Once again, start with the right. Inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left. Inhale through the right nostril. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. And this increases the heat and cleans the nasal passage, and of course it nourishes the brain first, and it the energy is descended to the lungs and to the abdomen, and from there it crosses the Muladhara chakra. From there it nourishes the lower part of the body too. The next is Chandra Bedi pranayama. Chandra Bedi pranayama is the opposite of it. First, Inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. So this is once again nourishes the Chandra Nadi. It increases the coolness inside the body. So to balancing of heat and cold, we have to neutralize and we have to stabilize it. So I will demo. You also follow the same thing. Inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through right, exhale through left. Inhale through right and exhale through left. So these 5 counts we have to do in the Chandra Bedi Pranayama also if you do the Surya Bedi Pranayama. The next is Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. The Nadi Shuddhi is Pranayama's culmination or interpretations or the combinations of all the things what we have detailed. So the Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama starts the entire crisscross positions of Shangadaka Marma is being nourished. So it nourishes the entire head. So inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. And inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. This is one round. This completion of full breath is called one round. Then repeat this for another 5 times. This only then the 5 times of pranayama is over. So now we shall start doing. Inhale through the left nostril, slowly enjoy it. Be aware of the breath which goes and comes out. Be present in the breath. Usually the breath don't ask you in coming and going outside. But in pranayama, there is a willful inhalation, a little bit deeply, but not straining yourself. So here, the airflow, vital capacity of the lungs is being purposefully increased. So inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left nostril, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right nostril, exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the right nostril, left nostril, and slowly exhale through the right nostril. And inhale through the right, exhale through the left. This is the one complete round of, 5 complete rounds of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. The benefits of this is the entire nadis is purified. No, don't think that this is left only up to the brain or to the lungs. No, the breathing pranayama is only for lungs. No, it nourishes the entire body. It gives prana to entire body. The Ida, Pingala and Shulumana are the major nadis. Of course, the remaining other 7 nadis also energize the body. But Ida Nadi and Pingala Nadi is the major 2 nadis which nourishes and passes through the whole body. So it purifies the nadis. This right and left inhalation purifies the nadis, and then it brings a balance between the right brain and the left brain. Most of the diseases arise out of the imbalance between the intelligent and the emotions, right brain and the left brain coordination, and there is always an imbalance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So this brings a balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic. And what else? It brings and most of the time, it is a imbalance between the heat and cold energy in the body. It brings about a balancing in the heat and cold energy inside the body. It brings a neutralization. It stabilizes the body. So this is an instant energy giver. It whenever you feel drowsy and you feel that you are very tired, then you can go for a 1 full round of this for 5 times each. You feel refreshed and nourished. I think so to summarize this today's session, I repeat once again, the Ida Kala Pranayama is nothing but breathe in and out with the left nostril, and Pingala Pranayama is nothing but breathe in and out with the right nostril. Surya Bedi is inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. And once again, start the practice with inhalation through the right nostril and exhale through left nostril. And Chandra Bedi Pranayama is nothing but inhalation through the left and exhale through the right. And Nadi Shuddhi is inhale through the left, exhale through the right, and once again inhale through the right and exhale through the right, and complete a one full round. These are all about for today's session. Enough for today. I leave the remaining to the next speaker. I hand over to the Somu.
Thank you so much, sir. If any questions, please put it in chat box. Due to time inconvenience, it will be clarified later through WhatsApp. And this session was really very much interesting and motivating for me to practice every day. Thank you so much, sir. I hope everyone enjoyed very well. So please stay with the same excitement. Now it's time for next session. I hand over it to Sandhya.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Deepika. I warmly welcome everyone to the session. I'm Sandhya. On behalf of IIS Ayush, I cordially invite you all for therapeutic yoga program and asana. So it's time for the next session by Dr. Kasinath. Dr. Kasinath is a qualified Ayurvedic physician and qualified yoga trainer. He qualified in Hatha Yoga, Vinaya, Power Yoga, Yoga for Kids, Prenatal and Postnatal Yoga, Therapeutic Yoga, etc. After completing his 5.5 year BMS in and yoga by the year 2002, he started his career as an Ayurvedic doctor and yoga trainer in various countries like India, Singapore, Malaysia, etc. So he is known heading in 1000 Lotus Petal Yoga Center in Dubai. He is doing early a residential yoga training program in India. Now he was awarded as a best yoga instructor in the year 2000. From IIS Ayush team, I welcome Dr. Kasinath, sir.
Thank you, Sandhya.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, all participants. I'm going to speak about geriatric yoga, how yoga is going to help elderly people. So can I share my screen now here?
Yes, sir, you can, sir.
So I'm Dr. Kasinath. I'm now running up a yoga institute here in Dubai. So our center is 1000 Petal Lotus Yoga Sahasra Chakra, which symbolizes transformation. So we do courses here in India and also in Dubai. Why geriatric yoga? So the youth walks fast, but it's the elders who knows the role. Going into some statistics of what is happening with the geriatrics and then the health problems. So India currently has 112 million elderly people with a lot of multiple physical, social, psychological, economic problems. Some of them are very much unmet. And if you look into the physical and psychological domain, we have the following figures from the previous studies which is conducted in India. There is 3.7 million people, elderly people, who suffer from dementia. And there is 40 million who suffer from poor vision. So the problem related to the Indriyas. So 1.6 million annual stroke cases. There is 1 in 3 people who suffer from arthritis, various forms of arthritis. And again, a Vata Vyadhi. 1.3, 1 in 3 has hypertension. 1 in 5 has diabetes. 1 in 5 has auditory problems regarding the Indriyas. 1 in 4 suffer from depression, which is with the manas. 1 in 10 has falls and sustains a fracture. That's something related to balance. If you look into globally, the incidence of fatal rates among elders, it has been contributed to this falls. And 1 in 3 has bowel disorders, and cancer is 10 times more common. And if you look into the recent statistics since last 30 years, you can see the incidence of cancer is also going to be increasing. So in addition, we have data to show that the elderly people is facing other issues like loneliness, elder abuse, neglect, lack of income security, poor access to healthcare. We also have lack of policies on advanced directive, palliative care, and end of life care for elderly people. And there is also a lack of data on the spiritual health of older people. So here, what we are going to be discussing in yoga is how we are going to be addressing the three bodies, which is the outer physical body, the inner energetic body, and also the casual body, which is the Karana Sharira. So aging in India is exponentially increasing. That's because of the increase of life expectancy. There is a good care like the health, and the demand for holistic care also tends to grow a lot. So it is projected that in the next 10 years, the proportion of Indians getting aged 60 and older is going to be rising from 75% in 2010 to 11.1% in 2025. So the expectancy or the amount of people who is more than 60 is going to be increased by 158.7 million in 2025. And it is our responsibility that we need to give them a very good care, especially we being in holistic health sciences. So many of the elderly people, population are forgotten or disregarded, and we all to understand that one day we will be all there where they are. This is how we want to be treated. Our elderly people deserve to be honored and to be respected. We need to create all conditions for their physical, mental, and also their psychological well-being. And if you look into Ayurveda, what is geriatrics? Jara Chikitsa. So it is a branch of medicine which is dealing exclusively with the problem of aging and the diseases. So Acharya Charaka, he says that Vriddha Avastha begins at 60, and Shushruta and Vagbhata mention 70 years. And we know what is the aim, goal, ultimate goal of Ayurveda is to live for 100 years, productive without any health problems. And if you look into Jara, there is going to be two types of Jara. One is Kalaja Jara, that is a natural aging process. And another one is Akalaja Jara, which is premature aging. And if you look into the modern pharmaceutical industry, they have used this as a very good marketing tool. They call this as anti-aging. But to be honest, there is no such thing which is called as anti-aging. We can only healthy age. Change is constant. You cannot change the change. We have to accept the change, and we have to healthily age. We are known for degeneration. Anything which is in this universe has to degenerate one day. It's all illusion, Maya. So we need to look how we can healthily age. That's the best thing which we can do. And if you look now, the recent conditions, we could able to see this Akala Jara is going to be more predominant than Kalaja Jara. However, signs of premature aging and onset of geriatrics diseases is very evident today, much before these ages. We can able to see like early arthritis, early degenerative changes, which is happening nowadays. My family is a good example. Like my grandmother is very healthy, whereas my mother is going to be having all those early geriatrics problems. So Jara is a Swabhava Bala Pravarta Vikara, which is you can't prevent that, it has to come. Everyone has to age, but gracefully. So with Swastavrta Parana, which is by maintaining proper rituals, care, we can overcome this Kalaja Jara. But improper care and regimen, premature aging, or Akalaja Jara sets in. So we need to follow to all those ancient care and regimen if we want to prevent early aging, not aging, premature aging or early aging. So it is through the unification of the Sharira, Prana and Mana. Doctor was explaining about like Prana, what is the importance of this, but we need to understand that there is Sharira, there is Prana and also the Manas. So in yoga, we used to compare this as, imagine this body is a beautiful garden. And what we need to do is that like to maintain this garden, we need to tap the water every day. Not just opening up the water, we need to check like whether this water is reaching each and every plant of this garden. Some are trees which requires more of energy, which is prana. Some may be a small shrub which requires often some dryness of the soil. So we need to have a three-dimensional view of the Sharira, physical body, the prana, the energetic body, and most important is the manas, because all the diseases, all the somatic diseases, the bodily diseases has some influences of the psycho. While performing yoga, which is impediments to in the energy channels, the playing field of yoga is this energetic body on your nadis, and that's what they call this pranayama as nadi shodhana. And clear so that the system is going to be attaining balance. So in everything we look into the balance, how we are going to be balancing. And we know that what dosha is going to be more predominant for elderly people, and how something like yoga, which is going to not only help preventing the premature aging, and also how we can use yoga to gracefully age. This is very beneficial in elders or those approaching old age as their system starts to degeneration. Remember, degeneration cannot be prevented. It is essential for all of us as healthcare professionals to be informed about the approach and impact of geriatric yoga. How we can help people like simple exercises. Like as doctor was explaining some of these breathing exercises, it's so simple. You can ask your clients to do it when they are going to be waiting you in your clinic, or give something like a 10 minutes routine. That's more than enough. Modern science, they do a lot of research on yoga. If you go to PubMed and then just put like the search term as yoga, you're going to be finding around 5,600 peer-reviewed research articles on yoga, especially on meditation and pranayama. And then they say just 12 minutes of some breathing exercises is going to be helping you not only calm the mind, but also clears the subtle blockages in your nadi system. So it's very much important as a healthcare professional, we need to understand how this yoga is going to be working. So what is the key areas in geriatric yoga? There is a lot to discuss, but due to time constraint, I'm going to be looking into only the things which is essential for us. And if you look into what we need to work on people on geriatric yoga, first one is physical. That is balance and stability. So balance plays a very vital role in our lives. So we need to try to balance in everything what we are encountering, and we need the stability. Stability, not just the physical body, we need to have stability of the energy and also to the mind. So balance and stability, if you look into the physical body, the three systems plays a very major role. One is the visual system, Second one is the vestibular system, and the third one is the proprioceptive awareness. So our ancients, so they have put these systems. If you look at the visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive awareness, it is nothing but the indriyas, the eyes, the ears, and also the skin, like where you are into the space. Let me put one by one. Visual system. So your balance is going to be affected by how much your vision is healthy. And that's the reason why elderly people who has diminished vision is going to have problems balancing, like walking. Second one is the vestibular system. Vestibular system is the network of channels on the inner ear, which is going to be receiving informations you might have experienced, like when you walk on a hill or when you go above the sea level, you're going to be feeling some blockages into the ears. And also when a kid is going to be having some kapha-javyadis, it's also going to be affecting to the ears. The third one is proprioceptive awareness. Proprioceptive awareness is where you are in the space. So your muscles also has the sense of feeling. So if you want to close your eyes and then to look into the mobile which is there in front of you, you can easily go and get into that. Imagine the situation at your home. Early in the morning you wake up and then you walk to the switchboard and then press exactly the light switch. That's proprioceptive awareness. You know where you are in the space. So visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive awareness. So this is something which is related to the indriyas, again the energy. So we need to work on to this. It's so simple, proprioceptive awareness. It's maybe this is a term which you might have hearing for the first time, but we did a lot of proprioceptive rich activities when we are as a kids, like blindfolding and playing, hopping with one leg, seesaw, swing. This is going to be increasing the proprioceptive awareness. So this helps me to understand where I am in this space. Say for example, if the chair which I'm going to be seated, one of the legs is not stable and then it starts to move, my mind immediately alerts me that there is something wrong with the chair. This is proprioceptive awareness. So elderly people is going to be finding difficult with that. The visual system tends to degenerate as you age. So the vestibular system. Elderly people is going to be having diminished vision, diminished hearing capacity, but the proprioceptive awareness can be well preserved even if the person is going to be 100 years old. There is a lot of proprioceptive rich yoga activities which can be done simply by seated. One good thing is pranayama, but there are other things also. Maybe doctor will be explaining about Brahmari pranayama, Trataka, which is going to be helping you on your visual, and flexibility and joint health. This is where yoga can contribute a lot for the flexibility and the joint health. We know what constitutes a joint. I'm speaking about an articulating joint or the cartilaginous joint. So the cartilaginous joint is going to be having like 3 or more bones. Like you take example of a knee, because 80% of arthritis of elderly people is with the knee. So the knee joint is going to be having the femur bone at the top end, proximal end. The distal end is going to be the tibia and fibula, and there is a kneecap. So in between this, there is going to be a cartilage which is going to be cushioned between these joints. We call this as articulating cartilage. So the cartilage is going to be having a slimy fluid, viscous fluid, synovial fluid. So this fluid is going to be getting absorbed if you don't move. And when you're going to be making a movement, all those fluids from the outside of the cartilage is coming and giving a soaking effect, like oiling effect into the cartilage. So any lack of movement is going to be causing dryness in the cartilage, which is in turn going to be resulting in the thinning of the cartilage. So this happens more in the disc. We call this as nucleus in the spine. And if you look into the the 33 bones, out of which 24 are movable, the last 4 is fused. So the cartilages or the space between the disc is going to be thinned as we grow old. That's why you see a person who is 6.1 feet at their 40s, 50s, they shrunk in size when they get aged. So yoga can help to get your cartilage back its nourishment. So the main fuel for a joint is the health of this cartilage. And there is something which is called as joint concurrency. When the articulating surface of this cartilage fits exactly, we call this as joint concurrency. Let me put it in simple words. You say the shoulders, it can move in all the directions. The shoulder joint is the one joint which has flexion, extension, hyperextension, internal rotation, external rotation. We call this as abduction, adduction, and then you can do a circumduction also with the shoulders. So the shoulder, the ball and socket joint, the cartilage which is having can move in all the direction. But what we do, we use only one movement, flexion, extension of the shoulders. We don't use the other movements of the shoulders like internal rotation or external rotation. This is going to be causing some damage to only one part of the cartilage. So an extensive pressure which is given on only one direction of the shoulders is going to be weakening them. So what happens? This cartilage at this point is going to be very thin and other areas will be having fluids. What we need to do is that, like, when we start moving the shoulders, very simple shoulder rotation is going to be increasing the fluid in the cartilage. I give us another example. Imagine the sofa in your house where you are going to be seated. You are going to be seated every day on a 3-seater sofa, only on the middle seat. You sit there for 2 years. What's going to be happening after 2 years? You can see the sponge in the sofa is going to be shrunken only on the middle seat. This is Akalaja Jara. It's because of your ignorance you have made the shrinking onto the middle. Imagine, on the other hand, there is a person who sits on the first seat on first day, second, third. That's also going to be degenerating the sofa, but evenly. Whereas you do only one movement, that's going to be causing an early degeneration, and after some time, it has to be thrown out or it has to be replaced. That's the reason why we can see that there is a lot of increase in joint replacement surgeries. That's because of the problems with the cartilage or improper usage of the joint. This is all physical level. Balance and stability with the physical body, but the undermining cause is going to be your visual, vestibular and proprioceptive awareness. Flexibility of the joint health, mainly with the cartilage and joint concurrency, but we give more importance to the knee joint. The other 2 joints which is going to be affected is the shoulder joints with elder people and also the hip joint. This is going to be causing decreased range of motion. So when I'm not going to be using my shoulders, that's going to be causing underlying muscular degeneration. It starts all with the joint, then goes to the muscles. If I'm not going to be using the muscles, that's going to be affecting my bone health. How muscles affect the bone health? When you are using your muscles, especially something like a resistant type exercises, that is going to be adding more calcium to the bone matrix. The movement of the muscles causes or deposits calcium to the bone matrix. So they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So one joint, if you are going to be maintaining that concurrency, health of the cartilage, it's not only benefiting the joint, it's benefiting the muscle and also gives you bone strength. And we can say by age, when you say degeneration, the calcium density of the bones are going to be decreased. Regular practice of yoga, something like a sun salutation, is not only giving flexibility, strength to the muscles, it helps to maintain the bone density, it helps our joints to be concurrent. That's the physical. Second one is the function. Functional, we speak about the respiration and the cardiovascular system. So respiration, doctor was speaking about pranayama. The definition of the word pranayama. Prana is the vital energy, ayama, to control, to extend, to lengthen. So you can put any suffix to pranayama: energy management, energy conservation, energy economics, energy multiplication, energy diversion. So we need this energy to be functioning properly. And if you look into how respiration is going to be affected, the following are the changes which occur in your lungs as you age. The airways can get smaller. There is going to be deposit of kapha inside, or dryness, increased vata is going to be causing shrinkage in the airways. The airways are going to be getting smaller. Also, the air sacs may lose their shape. If you know the physiology of the lungs, we say the alveoli, which is responsible for the O2-CO2 exchange. So the air sacs may lose their shape, wherein this elderly person is not getting enough oxygen. Oxygen is the fuel for the body. And the diaphragm is the muscles of breathing. It's going to be getting weaker, preventing you from fully breathing in and out. So all the exercises, breathing exercises, what you did, I'm giving science to value to the practice. So doctor was beautifully explaining about the energetic benefits of those breathing exercises. You could see that this acts on your diaphragm. If the diaphragm gets weaker, and the reasons why diaphragm gets weaker is because of elderly people, because of the shrunk in the cartilage, their spine is going to be rounded, the back is going to be rounded, which is reducing the space in the lungs, and they could not able to breathe properly. So something like this breathing exercise is going to be changing the posture, wherein this person is going to be getting abundance of oxygen into the system. Science calls this as oxygen. We call this as prana. Prana, the one which makes you to move. So rib cage and posture related changes can leave less room for your lungs to be expanded. So two things which we need to look into elderly people is the position of the sacrum and the lumbar spine, and second one is the sternoclavicular joint. So when the shoulders are going to be moving inside, causing compression to the sternoclavicular joint, we call this as gateway for heart chakra, which is responsible for your breathing. This is going to be causing a posture related changes which will not allow this person to breathe properly. Just change their posture. When you change their posture, the breathing changes. When the breathing is going to be changed, the energy change. When the energy changes, everything else is going to be changed. Also, nerves in the airways for coughing. Suppose if you have constrictions in the throat or into the lungs, your natural reflexes is you cough so that the blockage is going to be removed. But with elderly people, the nerves in the airways is going to be constricted, less sensitive, so they can't cough to remove that blockage out. So this is happening in the respiration. And then cardiovascular system, like all the vata vyadis you say, including high blood pressure. So we say prana. And if you look into what is the function of the prana, the function of prana is on the 5 systems of the body. Inhalation, you know, prana, apana, samana, vyana, udana. So that's the 5 divisions of prana. And Vata Vyadhis contribute 80% of the diseases. And if we can control the air, we can control anything. In yoga, we say what present outside is going to be presenting inside. Human being is the microcosm of the macrocosm. And if you look into all those natural calamities of this Panchamahabhutas, with the earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and if you look into who is the culprit behind any natural disorders like earthquake, tsunami, or a flood, or a forest fire, or a landslide, you can see there is definitely the role of Vata in it. Take examples of earthquakes. We know that like the seismic plates, down to the earth, it moves. Because of some compression, there is going to be a vacuum created between these plates. That's because of air. And then it goes and hit inside, which results in earthquake. And if you look into the cyclones, we get from meteorological department, they say there is a depression in the Gulf of Bengal. So this depression is because of air. So underlying cause for all the diseases is going to be air. In Ayurveda or Siddha or other system of medicine, you are going to be calling as Vayu or Vata. In yoga, it is called as Prana. And the Pancha Prana, there are 5 breathing exercises to regulate this Pancha Prana. So this is regulation of your blood pressure, cardiovascular system, and then the digestive disorders. Digestive disorders is also because of Samano Agni Samhitasya. So if you are going to be having a proper breathing exercises, the digestive disorders can be prevented. And then finally, the mental body. So manas, memory loss, senility, anxiety, elderly depression, mood disorders, mindfulness, social, emotional, and spiritual health aspects, we need to consider a lot into this. And if you look into all those diseases of the elderly people, we can see the involvement of mind. First, the manas is going to be affected, then it affects the function, then it is going to be affecting into the physical body. The easiest way to address these diseases is give something which is mindfulness for them, especially the social, emotional, and spiritual health aspects to our elders. The question arises, is yoga appropriate for seniors? When I go and teach, especially outside India, there is a question coming like, is yoga appropriate for seniors? The only reason is that like outside India, or even now this trend is increasing in India. If you think of yoga, thanks to Facebook and Instagram, you are going to be imagining someone who is on the beach, taking the legs, putting onto the back of the head and doing some circus. So the mindset of people regarding yoga is different, but true yoga is not this. True yoga is for the mind. It's nothing to do with the physical body. It doesn't do anything about your shape, your flexibility, or your strength. Because yoga is going to be regulating your prana, not to do anything with the physical body. What we get on the physical body, the flexibility, is the byproduct of yoga. True yoga works on your mind, on your prana. In most cases, seniors can absolutely do yoga. One of the great things about yoga is that it is so adaptable to different populations with diverse physical abilities and needs. It's very true. 178 countries have accepted this yoga, and then they signed a pact with UN that June 21st is the International Yoga Day. There is no International Gymnastic Day. There is no International Weightlifting Day. It's not a sports. It's not an exercise. It is more holistic than anything. So yoga has survived these many years. It has 5,000 years history. India has seen a lot of political changes, starting from invasions, and yoga has ride all those waves. So it's so adaptable. Through the popular image of yoga, maybe a young person twisted up like a pretzel with apparent easy for them, and those who are elder and less flexible can enjoy yoga practice as much as a beginner or a middle-aged or a young person who wants to learn yoga. And we have seen that, and there are many benefits from it, even more for younger people. So the elders is going to be enjoying yoga even more than the younger people. And is yoga appropriate for seniors? And then if you look into the legends in yoga, Tirumalai Krishnamacharya, Patabi Joyce, Indira Devi, and you can see BKS Iyengar, TKV Desika Chari, and Srivatsa Ramaswamy. So all these legends, the first four, they have lived for 100 years, satisfying what's told in Ayurveda, like Shatayu. Live for 100 years and with proper health, not in ICU or not with life supporting devices. So these people, and they have started. BK Iyengar is a very good example. At the age of 60, he has typhoid, he has jaundice, he has tuberculosis, and then he went to his guru, Tirumala Krishnamacharya, and he has learned yoga from him. In 2 years, he became a legend in yoga. So yoga is appropriate for everyone. So how does yoga works? Yoga cultivates a mind-body connection, combining stretching and strengthening postures with deep breathing and relaxation. So our action plan is going to be cultivating mind and a body connection. People of all faiths and belief systems can benefit from participating in yoga. It is not related to one country, one religion, it is universal. Because of the poses, we call it as asanas, can be easily be modified or adapted to suit an individual needs. None of our classical text has told that a posture should be like this. So yoga is safe for seniors of all fitness or ability levels. So for the inflexible, for the flexible, who has poor strength, who has strong strength, for everyone, yoga is going to be helpful to keep your body strong, healthy, and without any joint stress. So what does yoga does? It gives you better balance because it works on the visual system, vestibular system, and proprioceptive awareness. It's going to be improving the flexibility. Yoga helps increase in circulation in your muscles. It is circulating the synovial fluid within your articular cartilage, enhance breathing. This is the most beneficial result one can achieve by practicing yoga. It's all about breathing. Change your breath. Everything is going to be changed. Stronger bones is the resultant of improved flexibility, reduced anxiety and stress, and better sleep. So we have body, mind, and energetic effect on practicing yoga. So this is by Hippocrates, foolish the doctor, who despises the knowledge acquired by the ancient, and it is very much applicable to us, especially whom we are in holistic health. So another quote of Hippocrates says, a physician is the one who does not use the medicine, and something like yoga will help to minimize the usage of medicines. So what are all the types of yoga? There is something which is called as Hatha Yoga. It's not really a specific style. Hatha is a generic term. We see a form, that's the body, and we see a formless, which is hidden inside. I said, compare this body to a beautiful garden. There is going to be liver, spleen, pancreas, heart, kidneys. These are all going to be the plants. Something which is hidden there, the irrigation system, the nadis, which you can't see. So hatha is the form and the formless, ha and ta. And all forms of yoga that concentrate on physical postures. Iyengar yoga, I said about BKS Iyengar, he was a example of how yoga works on someone who has physical and the physiological problems in the body. So it's a methodological and precise with stronger emphasis on the proper form. Practitioners are encouraged to use props like a pillow, blocks, or a board. Now we are going to be changing that to a chair to correct the alignment, because the props allows for all kinds of modification. This is a good style of yoga for seniors with arthritis and other chronic conditions. Another one is a restorative yoga, which is a slow meditative form of yoga that is designed to release tension passively without stretching. Props are used to totally support the body, and the pose are held for a long time, sometimes up to 10 minutes. Restorative is the best type of yoga for seniors who want to cultivate relaxation and contentment. So Hatha Yoga is a classical yoga. Iyengar Yoga is yoga in 1960s. And restorative yoga is a modified yoga. Someone from the West, see yoga. He was a physiotherapist, or he is a functional anatomist, or he is a physical trainer. And then they see the yoga and then they saw how we can adapt this yoga. So these are all the three kinds of yoga which are commonly used for elderly people. So chair yoga for seniors. So because the seniors, people believe that they have less range of motion, there is a lot of chair yoga for seniors. For me, like in my experience and what I'm encountering with the seniors, I'll show you some videos of the seniors classes which I'm taking regularly. Not everyone is comfortable with up and down movements of traditional yoga, especially if you are going to be putting them in a mat, sitting on a cross-leg position. Standing up is going to be difficult for them. And seniors who have mobility challenges or balance issue can enjoy the benefits of yoga without having to get down on a floor or mat. A huge number of poses, from spinal twist and hip stretches to chest openers and forward bends, can be modified to be performed from a chair. But my approach to yoga, I teach 30 minutes of yoga for seniors. I ask them to do only 2 times a week, but I will never ask them to sit down on a chair or on the mat. I'm going to modify all the poses, either standing or with the support of the wall, or standing using the chair as a support. This is because everyone sees the seniors and then they don't asking them to move. Their movements are going to be restricted by people around them. In the public transport, if there is a senior, they will ask them to sit. They are going to be pampered. So if they are going to be walking, there is a person who goes, hold their hands and then make them to walk. So they are pampered for 23 hours a day. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but when they come for yoga, I ask them to be on their own to understand better what is their balance. So we start like this. We use the chair as a prop, but we don't ask them to move. Lifting one leg up, doctor was saying about what is the left brain and right brain and how to coordinate on this. Some poses which we do in yoga where we try to coordinate the left. The left side of the body is going to be controlled by the right side. The right side of the body is going to be controlled by the left side. So we have various measures, and then we discuss that like 80% of the arthritis of seniors is going to be with the knee. So we give a lot of importance to the muscles on your lower body, especially the gracilis muscle, the sartorius, and also the quadriceps muscle. So all those yogic exercises, what we do is to strengthen their inner thigh. Note it down. If you want to help people with knee pain, you cannot do anything with their degeneration. What it has degenerated already, you can't do anything. You can only increase the circulation of the synovial fluid inside the joints. And second thing is, we can increase some strength onto the connective tissue. What is connective tissues? The muscles, tendons, ligaments, and cartilage. So do something which is going to be increasing the strength in the connective tissue. And especially the inner thighs. The inner thighs is very difficult to engage. We use a lot your front thigh We use a lot the back of the thigh, but the inner thighs has been neglected. So when they come to me, we do a lot of things to strengthen their inner thighs, which helps them in a significant reduction of the knee pain. I didn't say that like it's going to be completely reduced, but the seniors found out the quality of life is getting improved by their third session itself. It's not just only the knee. The most important thing is the next thing. We give them a lot of breathing exercise, mindfulness, visualization practices, which is going to be changing the energetic body, which will reflect in the physical body. We not go this way, physical body, energetic body, and the mind. We go on the other direction, the mind, the energy, and then the physical body. There is also a lot of stretching exercise, especially the spinal health. As we discussed, the spine, which is housing all the important nerves, which is the telegraphic system, the stimulus and response, all those coordination is going to be affected when the posture is going to be changed. So we do a lot of spinal movements like spinal flexion, extension, axial rotation, and lateral flexion. And we do a lot of other that is range of joint movement increase with elderly people, giving a lot of shoulder stretching exercises, exercises which is going to be increasing the flexibility that can be done as a group. We have a golden age group where we meet 2 times in a week to do all those practices, not just only for the physical body, to the energetic body, and also to the mind. Apart from that, there is a lot of one-to-one practices, especially people who has problems with the joints. We give them every posture with the support of their chair. I never ask them to sit on those half an hour. They are going to be with me, but I use the prop, the chair. You can use anything. You can use a wall. You can use your clinic table. Anything can be used as a prop to help them stretch. And the main focus is going to be their lumbosacral spine and the shoulder joint. So now the action plan. What can be effectively done for people if we want to help them in their yoga practices? First and foremost thing, increase proprioceptive awareness. You cannot do anything for the degeneration of their vision or the ears. That can be done as a preventive. If you are going to be getting people who is on their early 50s, we can give a lot of yogic exercises like Trataka, Brahmari, which is not allowing them to age prematurely. But if you have a 70 years person who already has a knee problem or a balancing problem, the best what we can do is increase proprioceptive awareness. The second one is the increase ROM, range of movements. Range of movements in all the joints, starting from the minor joints and towards the major joint, because it is the blockages which is going to be caused on the nadis of the periphery that's going to be affecting the central nervous system. Central nervous system, your head and the spine, and the blockages which is going to be causing on the peripheral nervous system is going to be affecting the central nervous system. And we do a lot of fine motor activity for them, because the shoulders are going to be in a very proximal end to the brain. The movements are going to be easy, but the distal end like fingers and toes is not getting enough information from the brain. And that's the reason why elderly people struggle buttoning, unbuttoning, removing their shirts, or threading a needle. There is a lot in yoga. We call this as mudras. They are so powerful. And for some of you who might have not known what these mudras are, this mudras changes your doshic imbalances. With the practice of mudra, you can change the 5 elements inside the body. Any element, earth, water, air, fire, ether, can be balanced, can be increased, can be decreased by practicing of mudras. So I'm going to giving only a formula for how we can change into that. Maybe with the help of the organizers, we can go discuss deep about these topics. And postural correction. Postural correction happens with two bones in the body. Misalignment occurs where the joints are going to be meeting. Two areas of misalignments for elderly people is one, the lumbosacral joint. The hip joint, especially the lumbosacral joint, this area of the spine is going to be affected. They develop a flatness over here and then they walk in this way due to the stiffness. So this has to be corrected by doing some stretches against the wall like this, or we can also use the chair. I will show you some of the stretches like 10-15 minutes. If there is going to be time constraint, maybe you can contact the organizers. I'm going to be giving a safe general action plan. We can also work out specific action plan depending upon what is the dosha constitution of the elderly person or what imbalance you have identified. The third one and the fourth one and the most important one, increase the prana, because elderly people is going to be having less prana, and this can be done by practicing all those pranayama. Increase the mental ability, the dhriti smriti. They simply need, like I have found out some of the elderly people whom I am going and doing yoga with them, they enjoy talking to me rather than doing the postures, because these people, their kids, their grandkids, they are all with some of their devices in their own world. They don't have social communication exchange. So increase the mental abilities. That's going to be helping them. There should be someone who is listening, attending to them. That's the dhriti and smriti, which is with the mind. So there is mind, there is energy, and also there is going to be bodily practices. So coming to what is that next which we are going for them. How do you increase the proprioceptive awareness? It's very simple, ankle and wrist rolls. So you are asking the elderly person to sit, and then they do some simple techniques like fingers up and down, or they can do just one finger, and every fingers they are going to be pressing into that. That's a fine motor activity for them, and that's going to be bilateral on both the sides. Wrist rolls, asking them to roll their wrist. Ankle rolls, you ask them to fold their legs, and even if this is difficult for them because of a knee pain, give them another chair, give them another support, and ask them to roll. And single left leg calf rises. So getting seated, you can lift the knee up and down. This is going to be strengthening the calf muscles, which is a part of the ankle joint. One by one, the knee lifts up without lifting the heel. Just the heel lifts up, and then sit and stand with the support of the chair. So sitting down onto the floor and coming up is going to be a difficult task for them. But we ask them to sit with the support of this. This is similar to some of the squatting exercises where a young adult can do. And then seated hip marches. Imagine a parade, a scout. So they are going to be imagining that they are going to be doing a march. So this is not having any effect onto the knee joint. It is simply working onto the glutes, the muscles of the abs, and any accumulated air, any vata inside the colon, inside the rectum, small intestines is going to be released by this. Heel slides is another one. Seated with the leg straight, and then they slide the heel to the front and to the back. So sliding the heel to the front and to the back is going to be engaging their quadriceps muscle to the front of the thigh and also to the inner thigh. Seated shoulder press. Seated shoulder press is Sitting on a chair, pressing the palm down and lifting the shoulder up and down. It can be done this way, which is opening up the collarbone, increasing the range of movement on the sternopelvic joint, and seated torso twist. The spine is more supple than any other joint. The spine always carrying for movement. It wants to move. If you look yourself seated in this position, you will not sit in the same position for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, you are going to be changing into the position. And now with young adults, including some of you, you always want a support onto the back or leaning onto the couch or on the bed, even when you are going to be using mobile. This is a very damaging posture for your energy. So these are all the things which is increasing the proprioceptive awareness of our elderly people. Then we have posture correction. We have seated spinal movements. Flexion, that's a safe inversions for them, increasing the blood flow towards the head, even if they have a hypertension. When you increase because of gravity, the heart is pumping not enough blood to the brain. Something like this inversions, increasing the blood flow to the brain. So that's flexion. Extension is lifting your chin up. That's going to be lengthening your spine. Lateral flexion is moving towards the sides on seated. Axial rotation is same like seated torso twist, when the only joint in the body that can be twisted is the spine. And that's because of the crisscross fibers onto the spine and also because of the cartilages. Increasing the prana, breathing exercise. You know about some of the breathing exercise which you have learned in the morning. Apart from this, there is a deep abdominal breathing for elderly people. So you keep one palm on the chest, another palm on your abdomen, and then you're going to be moving this palm. This we call this diaphragmatic breathing, because the organ of respiration is diaphragm. Lungs filters the air. So the respiration is the resultant of the action of the diaphragm. And we have discussed in science, in some studies, the diaphragmatic muscles are going to be very weak for elderly people. So deep abdominal breathing, and we do it in a very easy way where they are going to be enjoying. We ask the elderly person to lie down on their back and keep something on their abdomen and ask them to lift it up and down. Alternate nostril breathing, and doctor has explained about this as Nadi Shodhana or Anulomana Viloma. Beautiful word, Nadi Shodhana. So for non-Ayurvedic people, I have put it in English like alternate nostril breathing, but it's Nadi Shodhana, which means it cleanses, it clears all the blockages on your internal channels. It beautifully explains the purpose of yoga. You tap the pipe, also you check where there is overflow, where there is blockage, where there is less flow. Brahmari, the word Brahmari means a bumblebee. So bumblebee breath is closing your eyes. You are going to be experiencing this Brahmari pranayama in the next coming days with Dr. Harshavardhen. He will be explaining you how to do it like properly. This is going to be, there is amazing science behind this. It is going to be increasing the theta waves in the brain. You know that like your brain has curative chemicals. Practice of Brahmari pranayama is going to increase the positive neurochemicals like dopamine, serotonin. One call this as happy hormones. So this is going to be increased by practicing of Brahmari pranayama. And then finally, there is Udgit. Udgit is nothing but chanting. It can be anything. It doesn't mean that you have to chant only Om, depending upon the faith, because I am practicing in a diverse culture. I have people from all the faith. Still, I make them to do Om chanting if I'm going to be putting it in the right way. So maybe some of you may not be experiencing this difficulty, but it can be anything. It can be a verse from Bible. It can be a verse from any holy book. But chanting is a must, because chanting calms the brain. There is studies which says there is going to be a psycholinguistic effect neuro-linguistic effect on regular chanting. So with all our elderly people, we have this as a must. So in fact, like we'll be having chanting for 5 minutes, maximum 7 minutes, which is going to be calming their brain down. And increase the mental abilities, which is dharana and dhyana. So dhyana, I'm not going to be calling it like meditation, because the modern word meditation doesn't exactly fit our yogic dhyana. Dhyana is immovable concentration, that's dharana. Dhyana is a state of meditation. Because we don't get any near word, we are forced to use the word meditation, but yogic meditation is completely different, and dharana is concentration. And if you know the word dhara, where you pour oil, it derives from the root dharana, that is concentration. And the yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is an amazing technique which was contributed to the Swami Shivananda school of yoga, and we practice yoga nidra with elderly people, chanting, and also some guided visualization, some relaxation scripts. So the action plan, once again, I'm going to be repeating that: increase the proprioceptive awareness, and increase ROM, which is range of movements, fine motor activity, posture correction, increase the prana, increase the mental abilities, which is the Dhruti and Smriti. The best which I can do now is I can make a small action plan, which is for any elderly people, not disease specific. Any elderly people who has an arthritis, who has problem with the spine and shoulders, we can have a 15 to 20 minutes routine. Let me put that in a sheet with illustrations, images, and then I'm happy to share that with you. Now, do you want to ask me any questions?
Sir, thank you for your valuable input, sir. There was one question, sir.
Yes, please.
What is the difference between doing stretches or yoga by sitting down on the floor and over the chair?
Okay, so it's simply just an adaptation, because if you want to sit on the floor, you need an extreme external rotation of the thighs. So if you are going to be looking me when I want to get seated over here, I need to have an extreme external rotation of the hip. External rotation of the hip is going to be because of the psoas major muscle, the glutes minimus muscle, and also the pectinus of the inner thigh. So elderly people may not have this extreme external rotation. It is something like this. See, my thigh is now neutral. If I want to sit, this is what's happening when I'm going to be getting seated onto the floor. That is an extreme external rotation of the thighs. So we can avoid this by getting seated, because in the elderly people, I'm not going to be focusing on the external rotation of the hips. Instead, I will give something to strengthen their spine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for
Anything else? If there is anything else, maybe you can, any doubts in the future, maybe you can discuss with the admins and you can reach me.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Change your breath. Everything will be changed. Before doing yoga, why we had to do yoga and what all the benefits that happen in our body, you have very clearly explained, sir. Thank you for your valuable input. And special thanks to Dr. Harshavardhen, sir, who had answered the queries that was asked in chat box. You can't always control what goes on outside, but you will be able to control what goes on inside. A good start on mind awakening technique and therapeutic yoga program. Thank you for both the sirs who has shared their valuable inputs and valuable knowledge. Next program on Zigza Dravya Guna on tomorrow by Dr. Harish on field on observation to microscopic identification of Ayurvedic drug. Next yoga program will be on Thursday. Start with Dr. Harshavardhen sir, the mind awakening technique, followed by the therapeutic yoga and asana by Dr. Madan Kumar and Dr. Kalpana Devi. So thank you for patience listening.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir. We conclude with Shanti Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamitam Purnata Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all for the patience listening. Thank you, sir.